Yeah, I mean, just first of all, man, I want to thank the fans, the students that showed up out here today. They knew it was going to be hot, and it was hot. But we had a sellout, man. It was an awesome atmosphere, blackout. Really appreciate those guys and everybody coming out and celebrating with our team today with this great victory and this our first Big 12 win. So I want to make sure I recognize them. We can't do it without them. And obviously one of our goals this year is to defend the NIP. And man, we want to make this a great home field event. And it is. It's incredible. It was today. So I want to thank them. Also want to, it was all three phases today I thought played outstanding. It was a complete game out of all three. Setting the tone right off the bat, I thought, with Minkins, coming back and playing this week and getting an interception on the first drive, man, that kind of set the tone. And offensively, we go down and score. And then it was pretty much on after that. As you think about it, it was just a complete game defensively. We gave up the one post route, and that's the one time they got in the red zone, but our defense did a great job of not letting them get a first down, and they attempted a field goal, did not make it. And then our offense put together some nice drives. They got a really good defense. I think their defense is very efficient in what they do. They're hard to run the ball against. They play a lot of man coverage back there. There was two great throws by Sorsby to Xavier in the end zone to get those touchdowns, to get some points on the board. We popped a long run with Corey there, probably 50-some yard run, which was outstanding. But it was hard to get yards on the ground today, and give them a lot of credit for that. But I do think we were very efficient throwing the football today. And the other thing that we did was take care of the ball. We did not have any turnovers, and we created three. That was huge in the game. And I think two of their turnovers for sure went and got touchdowns. I don't know about the third, but anyway, just a complete game. And special teams today were solid as well. We knocked down two more field goals. Fletch averaged 43 yards on two punts. Hawks is punting the ball out the back of the end zone. So it was a complete game today. Really proud of our guys, and they deserve to have the rest of the day off.
As a former quarterback, how fun is it to watch when Sorsby gets in a groove like that where it seems like everything he sees is working?
Yeah, it was. I thought we had a solid game plan coming in, and we knew there were going to be some tight windows. His one incompletion early. Royer had it, and the guy did a great job of knocking it out. That would have, he basically would have started 12 for 12, I think, starting the game instead of 11 for 12. But he was in a good rhythm there. We had some good efficient throws. Sterling made a great catch on the one down the field there. Royer made some good contested catches. It wasn't like they were wide open. Our guys are having to make some good contested catches there, and I thought, they did a great job with that, and Rory, played a solid game.
That's two games that you've done a decent number on. Donovan Smith, a big fella, but he's out of the game in the third quarter today.
He's obviously a big person that can run the football. That was the one thing we were worried about was him, carrying the ball from the quarterback position. And then when the other quarterback comes in, he can run too, So basically both of those guys, and they got a few first downs on us by running it, third and medium, and they're running the Q. And, but we felt like, okay, if we give that up, that's not going to beat us, so as long as we get them down. And so, they hit a few first downs on us on that. But overall, man, we contained the quarterback very well. Really didn't have too many open windows to throw. As I mentioned, they had the one post ball. We lacked our guy, should have been back in the post, didn't get back there, so they hit that one. But other than that, that was pretty much it in the throw game.
You talked about how this was a solid performance from all three phases of the game, giving credit to Houston. Just how close was this to a perfect all-around win for Cincinnati?
Yeah, I don't know, 34-0. I don't know how, it gets much better than that, really. It's hard to lose if you don't let anybody score. So 0 points is pretty good, man. Some people have been critical of our defense the last couple of weeks, but to hold it, a Power 4 team to 0 points, I don't think it's been done this year yet, so that's pretty good.
Being able to get that first Big 12 home win in your tenure for the school in general, just how important is that to get that out of the way?
It's huge. Cincinnati has fought so hard to get to this level, and to finally come out here and get our first Big 12 win in our first opportunity this season. It's been big for us, to get the bell back last week. Now, you're getting this Big 12 win. It's been a great couple of weeks here. We tell the team, these are 1 week seasons that we have. Everything can change next week, everything. So you have to be so intentional and so focused on every single day. And that's why, somebody asked me about a 12 o'clock kick, number one, I don't set what time we play, all right? So whatever the time they tell us to play, that's the time we play. But I like 12 because from this point forward, I can go watch some college football. And I don't care what happens. This is the only day of the week we can relax. This is it right now, because when we come in the office tomorrow, it's all Texas Tech. So now I'm happy, man. So I get another 6 hours here to go watch some ball and hang out and celebrate this win.
Sterling Burkhalter was someone that was challenged in the fall, and he's put together a few good games.
Yeah.
How does that speak to just the overall depth in the receiver room for Sorsby to work with?
Yeah, I mean, Sterling, man, he had a great – he was one of the more improved players, I thought, in the spring, and then he followed up in camp. You know, he's backing up Xavier, and Xavier, man, has had a great season so far. And, you know, but he can't play every snap, you know, so we rotate him to keep him fresh so we can play, you know, second and fourth quarters. And Sterling's come in I feel like he's come in and made some great plays for us. You know, he had a play early in the drive there and, you know, got about 6, 7, 8 yards. And then the post route was awesome, you know, contested going up and getting it. So I really feel like he's gaining confidence as he's moving throughout the season. You know, I think he'll continue to get better and better. I mean, he's a good target. He's got good hands, and he's a guy from right here in Cincinnati. He's done a great job for us.
Coach, third straight game with a turnover there on the opening drive. What does that really say about what Tyson Vite's doing there with the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, let's hope that trend continues. You know, I feel like all three of those throws are about the same, really. I mean, they kind of, you know, hang up over the middle, and our safeties are working over the top and making those picks. And I think, you know, the quarterbacks maybe see the guy open initially, but they don't see the backside safety that's coming over, and that's kind of what all those picks have been. You know, 2 of them by Minkins, and that's why I said this earlier. It was great to have Minkins back this week after missing a week. And so, you know, he's a ball hawk in the back end. He's got a good feel and understanding of what we're trying to do. You know, so yeah, I mean, obviously anytime you can get a turnover, it's going to help your team win. I was glad today we converted that into 7 points.
How would you compare the defensive line, Eric Phillips, Cam Wilson's ability to set the edge these past 2 weeks compared to the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think we're still learning about the defense. We're still growing with it. You know, it's the 4th game now that we've been into this. You know, we've played some teams that have exposed us at times, but I think the guys are getting more and more comfortable. It's not going to get any easier as we play in the Big 12. I mean, there's some outstanding offenses and outstanding quarterbacks in this league. You know, Texas Tech, they've been putting up 1 million yards, I feel like, every week, you know, over 500 yards and scoring a ton of points. I mean, we'll be challenged in that. And as you go looking throughout the rest of the season, there's some great offenses. So we're going to continue to have to get better with what we're doing. We've got to figure out what other ways to get into the backfield and get on the quarterback. You know, these quarterbacks are so talented. And so, you know, but for 2 weeks in a row, I thought, you know, we handled the offense. We kept them out of the end zone. I think that's ultimately the key. It's not really the yards. It's more about keeping them out of the end zone.
How important is the progression that your defense is making on third down? Because it feels like last year that was really where it kind of you would get stops on first and second and backbreaker on third.
Yeah.
4 of 14 today, I think.
Yeah, that's huge. It's huge because he keeps the drives moving, you know, and you know, getting them off the field is, man, we talk about it, stress it all the time about, you know, getting off the field on third down. And you have to mix it up, as I said earlier. I mean, these offenses are so good and talented these days, and these quarterbacks, you know, you have to mix it up. You can't just do the same thing every time. They'll exploit you. So trying to do some different things and, you know, whatever our guys can handle, and we'll continue to hopefully do that as we move forward.
Last week against Miami, Scott, and today against Houston, the attitude, the way you guys have played with the lead. What have you seen since the Pitt game, and how has that changed?
Well, I mean, I think we got some really good leadership in the locker room. These guys, we got some mature guys, older guys that have scarred down a lot. Some of these guys from last year and this year, you know, and you know, a little bit, we got complacent in the fourth quarter there in the Pitt game, and we never grabbed the momentum back, you know, and I think that's the one thing they've talked about in the last 2 weeks in the locker room is keep the pedal down, keep playing hard, play one play at a time, and continue to do your job. And I think you can't think about, man, let's get to the fourth quarter, or you know, you have to stay in the moment, and I think our guys have done a really good job with that the last 2 weeks.
You played a ton of guys in the opener, but what's it mean in a Big 12 game to the fourth quarter where you're able to put guys in and get them Big 12 reps?
It's awesome. It's awesome. You know, as we stated this in the press conference earlier week, you know, we've played a lot of freshmen this year, being able to rotate them in, and I feel like some of those guys now are becoming experienced players. You know, as you think about 4 weeks they've played, I mean, they're playing 20, 25 snaps, you know, and over that time you accumulate some good experience, you accumulate some confidence to know that I can go out here and play, and we've been able to see that, particularly on defense, which has been awesome because these teams, you know, and especially like today, it's hot today, so they'll be able to rotate and not get wore down, and for those second and fourth quarter parts of the game.
Alex and JT. You win at Miami, get the victory bell back. Now you win your first Big 12 game. Can you guys feel the momentum that you're generating right now as the end of September approaches?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've said this really throughout the all season of how connected we wanted to be, and we felt like we were a connected football team with some really good leadership. We played one bad quarter, and you're sitting there and really that hurts, that game in that fourth quarter. But other than that, I mean, our guys have played great football. They've played together. They've played for each other. They've picked each other up. I mean, and that's what connected teams do, and it's fun to see. And I told our team, it starts throughout the week. I mean, our guys, this team has been really, really good at focusing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays practice, and I think that's the key, how we prepare.
The defense looked a lot more aggressive today. Against Miami, you guys gave up over 350 yards in the secondary in the passing game. But to what you did to Houston, it looked like a totally different team, especially on the back end.
Yeah.
What was that team?
Yeah, I mean, I think, this team, I don't think Houston doesn't throw the ball as good as Miami. I mean, that quarterback in Miami's been, he played for 6 years, I think, or something. I mean, he's been playing forever, and he can throw the football. He had some good receivers. And so a little bit different offense when you think about that. They were not as efficient throwing the football, even coming in. So, but having said that, our guys still went out and played well. They give up the one big play. Other than that, they played outstanding all day.
You're playing at Texas Tech next week. It's the first game outside of the state of Ohio, really the Cincinnati area. How will you guys approach that? Do you approach anything differently than what you have the first 4 weeks?
No, I mean, it's still all about your preparation and how you handle your business throughout the whole week. Now, the difference obviously is we're getting on a plane. We're flying, all the way to Texas. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, the time of the game. So we don't even know what time we play. I've never played there. I heard it's a great environment there. It's loud. They get into it. Hostile environment, long ways away from home. And so, hopefully our guys will continue to stay connected, because when you go out there, man, you feel like, all right, we got something to prove when we go out here and play in Lubbock.
Final question, Aiden. Xavier Henderson, 2 touchdowns today, obviously 3 on the year, which ties last year. Can you speak more to his growth from this year, from last season?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's, continues to work. He's one of the harder workers we have at practice. I mean, he gets after it every day. I think, and Sorsby, feels comfortable with him, throwing him up. We really didn't throw many fade balls to him last year. We threw 2 today and got 2 touchdowns. That's a great aspect of growth, I think, for him to be able to get some confidence in the red zone to go get, throw it up and get some touchdowns. I think he'll continue to have, a good season because he's going to get his opportunities. I just like I like where his mind's at because of how hard he works.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.